Yeah, people, I'm back. And, we did promise to bring you part two of the audio from Ghlislaine, Glizzy, Maxine's audio of Jeffrey Epstein's island and her knowledge of whatever was going on at the time. As we had hit a certain point, in the show where I just had to stop what I was doing, take care of life. And, that kind of put a stop to the audio. So I'm going to bring a little bit more of the audio. I'm going to give you more of that audio, I promised. And hopefully you enjoy your Friday. I don't know if you can pick it up on the shirt. As we are looking to shed a little bit of light into, the country's fascination with the Epstein's trial or the files. The lack of them going to trial and taking out the information. So maybe we're going to get something out of this. We were at the point where she was explaining who's on the flight. Are we going to get anything else about the art? The Billy Clinton art, the paintings of him being cross-dressed. Are we going to get anything important out of this little sit-down? I'm going to pick up where we last left off. And, and maybe we can break down some of the interesting talking points as the audio goes on. Let me see where we at with the volume. And hopefully we get the clarity. Is I'm going to start this from 49:15. 49 minutes, 15 seconds.
Ted went there and left it. I don't know. Something. Anyway, I was there.
No,
that's not either. No. Anyway, at some point in that time, I saw all the swatches. At some point in 2005, I think that was. And then I believe, I don't remember, I think I got a phone call actually. I wasn't in Palm Beach. I think I got a phone call that there was a police at his house or something.
So when you got a phone call from him, or do you think you were just told by somebody that knew that it happened, or don't you remember?
Definitely not him.
Okay.
I think it would have been the houseman.
So when that happens, whatever it was, that's kind of the first time you know that Mr. Epstein's being investigated for...
I didn't even know I didn't even understand.
Okay.
I didn't have a context for that. It was like, I didn't even...
What's happening?
I didn't know. I didn't, I'm not sure even what happened. I was like, that's weird.
After you find out about it, what happens with your relationship with him?
I asked him what was going on. And he said,
was he honest?
Not to worry. Nothing. Take care, don't worry about it. And then it went quiet. He didn't say, he didn't share. I wasn't part of it at all. I was off with Ted and I really just...
But did he tell you...
Is she working to clear herself from
more specifics around that
the situation of the investigation?
In a few minutes. I want to just finish this opening part. So that case goes on. Ultimately, it ends. What was your relationship like with him during that case when he goes, when
he told me, he said, listen, I'm going to jail. Anyways, I'd like you to stay on board to manage the properties, the animals, this and that, and just stay.
Sorry about that. I just wanted you to see it was from MSNBC.
And I was like, okay.
Well, when you said continue to pay you,
He'd never stopped paying me.
He never stopped paying. So even when your relationship changes, does the amount increase from the $25,000 or so a year in the beginning? Like, how much are you getting paid yearly?
I think it ended at the time. Well, we had different payment structures, and I'm happy to explain how that works. But I think salary-wise, if I'm right, it ended at around $250,000 a year.
How much?
$250,000, $250,000.
And when did it end? When was that it stopped?
2008 or 9.
So
9. When did he come out of jail? Whenever he came out of jail.
Okay.
So obviously he was giving up $500,000. She says $250,000 after the release from jail.
That's between like early 90s until 2009 or 10, whenever he stopped. Is that right?
Yes.
And how were you paid?
W-2.
W-2 from
she had to do those W-2
forms. He just moved me around over to this company, that. I didn't care.
Okay.
And I didn't care, I didn't understand any rhyme or reason, it doesn't us. Whatever.
Okay,
I mean,
so when he's going to go to jail, he says, "Can you stay
So-
around and manage everything?"
yeah,
And do you do that?
I do.
Okay, and then we'll come back to
I
that.
will not manage everything, no. I mean, there are other people at this point. My specific role then was very, very diminished. I reviewed the bill structure that came from the constructions that was still being...
Always dealing with the construction.
And wherever else I was going, Paris at this point, because I speak French, I'm fluent in French. And also my relationship with the French decorator was critical to him. In the French component part of that aspect was really vital, and so you'd have had to find someone who was, well actually, and Spanish, trilingual. You'd have had to find someone who was trilingual and that he trusted.
Did you...
To not steal from him.
Did you... so when he gets out of jail, between that time, 2009 or 10, and 2019, what's your relationship like with Mr. Epstein?
Almost non-existent.
Why?
I had just moved on, and I just didn't want to have anything. I didn't want the drama. I didn't want to be associated with...
Obviously.
So, do you recall, when you say almost non-existent, does that mean some phone calls, some visits, some trips, or what does it mean?
What is the relationship?
I don't think there were any trips. I don't think so.
She wasn't doing any trips at this point.
That time period, or was it
Which time period?
Between 2009, 10, and 2019?
I was back in New York.
Okay.
Were you,
so you had
traveling back and forth from England again?
So
what was the deal?
You had phone calls with him on occasion?
Yes. Well, I certainly did. Whenever there was any legal drama or any serious press attention, I always called him to try and find out what was going on.
Okay.
And I did email him at that time for those types of details. I was like, what do I do? I was like...
And
for those juicy details,
when he charged in New York,
she seems to be leaving out.
How did you learn about that case?
In the press.
And had you, as far as you know, been contacted by law enforcement before his arrest?
No. I wasn't in the indictment.
No, I know that, but even as a witness or asking you if you would give documents or materials.
I had never, up until when my lawyers said that, I don't even know, I had no knowledge of them being interested in me. Honestly, I want to say until he had died. Now, I know that my lawyers were in touch with some district of New York at some point after his arrest. I'm pretty sure that had to have happened, right?
Okay.
But my understanding is that they had not shown any interest. I know my lawyers went to see them once, I believe. And
went to see him, meaning Mr. Epstein?
No, them, the sub-district of New York.
Okay, sub-district of New York.
Sorry. And that they had been in touch with them, and...
But now you're talking about after Mr. Epstein died, or are you talking about before he died?
I think...
If you don't remember.
It's easily verifiable. My memory is...
Cognitive decline, it seems.
When he was arrested. I don't know if anything happened until after his death, then after that.
Okay.
I don't think they saw them, met with them, Southern District of New York I'm talking about now, until after he died. I know that they were a bit...
So it seems that she's claiming that she wasn't aware of these investigations, and then once she was aware of the investigations, she didn't want to have anything to do with him and the sort of details and the troubles. She seems to have memory issues. She seems to be talking and leaving tons of evidence out. Obviously, in a huge attempt not to incriminate herself. You know, why would she? I mean, obviously, she's trying to do this very strategically, but at the same time, give up as much information as possible, or, you know, as least information as possible. So, I mean, you know, what the question is, you know, how far is her real, true involvement? Is it that they decided to go after her after his passing? You know, his mysterious hanging. Maybe they could have waited till this man's weak heart gave out. I don't know. But this is very interesting. Nonetheless, and, you know, I'm going to just let them dig a little bit deeper, and then we'll get into a little bit of breakdowns while we continue. Give me a second.
Telephone contact with them, and that my lawyers believed that they had been told that there was no interest in me.
Okay.
And were absolutely stunned when I was arrested. But maybe stunned is too big a word, but surprised. I certainly was.
Okay. So
I don't know. The shock. Oh my God, they
that's-
tracked me. I wasn't in the indictment. What happened? What's the RICO about?
What was a very long life, and that was very helpful. So I want to go back and talk more specifically now about particular areas, but that was a very helpful kind of foundation for us. The first thing I want to talk about, you talked about earlier on about Mr. Epstein's financial success. What?
They're gonna get into the way he hustled his money.
When you first meet him at some point,
Or are they just
say,
gonna get
I got this
into
place
how
for you to rent. You can't afford
he
it.
was
And his last
inspired
video
by
says,
it?
yes, I can. What did you learn about his wealth and how he was and how he accumulated his money?
I can tell you what he told me.
Yes.
So I know that he was hired from working at a private school whose name eludes me at this point.
Dalton.
Bolton. He was
That's
working at
questionable
Bolton
right
as a
there.
math teacher.
Private school math teacher.
And he met, I think it was Ace, I'm not sure. He met someone from Bear who hired him because he was very good at maths. And I believe that he then worked on creating a trading of
Get this fucking paperwork out of here.
Just describe it. Okay. Go ahead.
he kind of came up with a new type of trading system. Not a system so much, but as a vehicle, a trading vehicle that I'm just escaping right now.
And this is while he was working at Bear?
At Best Times, yes.
Okay.
And
And was this before you met him?
Yes.
So this is what he told you?
Yes.
And what you learned?
Yes, this is what he told me
Okay.
himself.
And then eventually he starts a financial firm? Do you know that to be true or no? J. Epstein and Company, you ever heard of
I
that?
think yes. So, hang on a minute. So, this I did not know, but this I have subsequently learned, is that he had some problem or some issue at Bear Stearns, and there was some disagreement. He wasn't fired, because obviously he was still very friendly with Ace and with Jimmy.
I bet he was.
At least by the time I met him. But they were working with him, and he had money at Bear Stearns. So his money, his client's money, I'll come to that. But he told me himself that he started a business where he looked for stolen money. So if somebody...
Stolen cash. Man made a business out of stolen cash. Isn't that all our
I think
dreams?
it's some intelligent way to say it, but I can't think of anything. I've been with... Not very... I'll give it to you. So let's say you have El Chapo. God, I don't know where he comes from, but anyway, we've got El Chapo. And El Chapo's laundering money.
They're talking about El Chapo. Let's say he was laundering money.
Cartel, and he steals money from the Sinaloa cartel, and he moves it to wherever. So he's got stolen money from the Sinaloa, goes there. This didn't happen. I'm just...
Yeah,
Sure, did.
Coming up with something in my head. And
Hypothetical.
Sinaloa
It's a hypothetical.
says that, can you track down
What if?
my $1 billion that the other cartels stole from me, and Epstein will go and find the $1 billion and will take a portion of the money that was stolen as a fee and give back the remainder. That would be on a percentage basis.
Break this lady's
What you
legs.
just described, which I appreciate what you said.
Please, that's completely hypothetical.
That would involve, like, so two kind of drug cartels stealing from each other. Practically speaking, he was more of a businessman.
So here's how I think it started, is that he had a girlfriend. It was always to the girls. I guess there was a girl whose name will come back to me.
Is she jealous of this man's cross-dressing girlfriend? I don't know. Is she a cross-dressing individual?
She was the daughter of a billionaire, for instance. And that billionaire, whatever his name was, had had some money stolen. And for some reason, this woman introduced Jeffrey, and Jeffrey, I think that's how that business started. That's
So
what I
obviously,
remember.
And is that
this man's a
something he
thief.
told you about?
He was robbing people for dirty money.
No.
He figured, what are you gonna do about it? I guess
And so
he
when you meet,
picked out who he was gonna get, who was gonna get got. You know, and then he just developed companies with the money that he stole from other people. As he found ways around them, not running up on this man like the ops. If Petey just breaks out this man, would you have done Jeffrey Epstein dirty? This man would have never got so far. Would have never bought no islands. Somebody would have just for once decided to go at this man and break his leg. Or maybe this man has too many goonies. Maybe he has shit that we don't know about. You know, maybe somebody's gonna just listen to this audio or videos that I've been dropping about this and just try to pack me up. You know, and you know, is that gonna happen? I don't know, but I find this very interesting that this man has been, you know, running a corrupt, money scandaling business and getting away with it, opening up several businesses with stolen goods and money. You know, and having this woman operate set, you know, situations or help him maneuver those investments. Obviously, she was doing the general manager job, but she just claimed that she came aware of this man's tactics of doing this, and that, you know, I guess she was along with the hustle, even though she's not implicating herself in that area. She's not doing that to herself in that way. Obviously, she's not that stupid, even though she's not that bright.
and once you're part of his life in the early to mid 90s, what is he doing to make money that you see? Does he have clients? Does he have rich clients? Does he have famous clients? And how, and what, if he does have clients, what service is he providing them?
He does have, well, obviously there's the one very famous client that everybody talks about, which is Les Wexner. And that was a very important client to him.
Les Wexner, not Brock Lesnar.
I think it's probably helpful to describe what I imagine, what I know to be true about what he managed for us. And there's some bits that I'll be improvising.
Yep.
I want to just make you understand I was not part of Epstein's business wealth.
She's saying that she wasn't part of the business wealth.
So she's
implicating this man now as the manager. She's not the manager.
I overheard or what I saw within the business, but I wasn't responsible for any of the client's money or anything like that.
So apparently she did eventually see what was happening and visually saw it and said, I don't have anything to do with this shit.
All encompassing.
No bueno.
It could go from
No bueno.
the structure of the business. So he structured or restructured the limited. I know that. And I'll come back to that because I also travelled with him in US. And I was in business meetings with them on the plane when they were there. So I could observe and I could hear some of this. And whilst I'm not necessarily terribly business sophisticated, I'm sophisticated enough to be able to at least have some knowledge of what was happening. All right, so then he restructured the business.
I don't know. I'm sure they were doing some fucking wild shit on that plane.
Restructured his entire
Billy, stop cross-dressing while I'm painting you.
Would also handle all of the investment strategy. I don't know if it was 100%.
Mr. Wexner, should you say?
Sorry, yes. This is all Wex I'm talking about now.
Oh, Wex.
So let's say you had $1 billion to invest. So you would, in people's normal investment portfolios, you'd have, some T-bonds and this and that. But Epstein's strategies would be much more sophisticated than that.
And so just staying with Mr. Wexner.
I wouldn't suggest anybody do any of these business tactics to move up in the game of money.
Is Mr. Epstein paid by him in percentages? Like, so there would be a deal and he would be paid, or did you understand it to be like a flat fee? Was he a business partner? Like, how did you understand him to be paid?
I think it was more a la carte. So let's say, this is a conversation actually Epstein told me, so illustrated for me. He said if I saved someone $5 billion, he would take a flat percentage of that $5 billion. He wouldn't have $5 billion back.
When you say you think that, is that because
shady
you were
motherfucker, I tell you.
It'd be a combination of both. I certainly told me that, and
Epstein.
I heard him talk to people like that. I couldn't. Sorry.
No, go ahead.
They probably had some goodies to hang you in your cell and you owe so much money. Get this motherfucker, pack him up out of here.
So we're talking about 71st Street. So I don't know what the business deal was. Because again, I'm not part of his business thing, but I think what happened would be that, let's say Les owed him, theoretically, for his services, 100 million, or whatever it was. He could have traded that against the property.
But do you know that happened? Do you remember whether there were conversations about that, or you just...
My man was hustling out there. My man was pulling shyster moves. A sleazeball of a businessman, a weasel.
If that's something I know, or if that's something that I remember.
Well, he wasn't spineless because he was robbing rich people for money. He was like, fuck you, what are you going to do about it?
Does that make sense?
Did Mr. Wexner and Mr. Epstein, are you aware of their falling out that they ultimately had?
I think, I wasn't there, and I don't know how it happened.
There's a fallout.
I'm
not going to be the fall guy, Epstein. You're not going to do this to me. My name is Wexler. Sound like a Resident Evil doctor and shit.
Not from any first-hand knowledge. You weren't there. You weren't part of that.
Correct.
Do you know somebody named Stephen Offenberg? Okay. And so you don't
Feel
know
free to
anything
Google
about
these names.
Whatever business relationship they may have had, Mr. Epstein.
Let me know what you come up with.
Never mentioned. I only
Think this interactive investigation.
Whatever that is, I don't even know what the truth is of that story from the press.
The people want to know.
Leon Black.
Oh, I did meet Leon. Do you know Leon?
When do you remember, and again, I know we're talking about a very long time ago, but do you remember approximately when you met him?
When? When did you meet him?
I could have met Leon, not really. So, I might have met him, nothing to do because Leon Black is very good friends with other friends of mine.
Neon Black?
I would
not Alistair.
When I say socially, I might have met him. How Leon and Epstein became really good friends, I'm not sure.
She said, I'll never know, or I'll never tell.
Not through me as far as I know, no. In fact, I'm sure that's not through me.
Do anybody know out there?
What kind of work Mr. Epstein was doing for Mr. Black over the years?
Same as what he did for Wexner.
So, we just talked about
investments, business, grooming, possibly again, looking for some fall guys.
Maybe a 15-year time period or even longer.
This man was manipulating the business system.
Well, why don't I just give you the names that I remember? Why won't I just give you the names?
Yeah.
Do you want the names?
Oh, sure, go ahead.
Forget their names. Feel free to Google these.
Johnson & Johnson.
When did, as far as you know, when did the relationship between Ms. Johnson and Mr. Epstein start?
90s. 95, 96.
So during
90s.
the time period?
Yes, we're talking 90s. We're talking when I was there. When I was there.
How did the relationship start?
I don't know how he became that friendly, why he ended up managing her money. I wasn't there. I mean, I really had a separate life. We really had separate lives.
She's really trying to separate herself from these accusations.
It wasn't from me.
From you?
No, it was not.
Okay. And what's your understanding of what
I have nothing to do with it. I was an Indian diamond.
Same as what he did for Wexner. And when you have to understand, it went down to in tiny detail. So I remember, this is an actual memory, that he would make the contracts for the maids, for the people who worked in their homes.
So he would assist his clients at times with, you're saying, with even small things like contractual relationships.
He said no detail was too small.
Check the fucking contractuals. 50 Shades of Grey.
How they managed their life was something that he felt he was, if they wanted, would be responsible for.
Wexler, Leon, you're going to be the four guys. You didn't read the contractuals.
Come back and sue you or that sort of thing.
Oh.
Okay, so
taking a huge dump in the business game.
Warner, Miss Johnson, who else? This one named Jess Staley?
Yeah, I do know Jess.
Who's that?
He was at Morgan Stanley and at Barclays.
What do you know whether he and Mr. Epstein had a relationship?
A sexual
Not a
relationship?
physical one.
I didn't suggest it.
See, she said it wasn't a physical one. I'm telling you, these people were
Business,
fucking.
personal,
Yes.
both.
I don't care what they say.
Okay. And do you know when they met?
We're gonna break this open. You know what?
Yeah,
Give me a
I
second.
don't know when they met. But
Phew.
you can time it on it.
No, but I think I'm gonna stop the audio at 1 hour, 10 minutes, and 13 seconds, and because that was crazy, that moment over there where they were laughing about the implication of a sexual situation. I wasn't saying they were fucking, but I know that's what you meant. Because you know that's what happened. He's probably one of those paintings. Come here, Clinton. Come here, Neon. Come here, Wexler. I'm gonna paint you in the finest nanny outfits I can find. You know, the maid's outfits, because I'm into these short-haired gray men. Old men dressed up like nannies. You weird, sir. No wonder people wanted to shut you up. But you didn't shut this lady up. She knows a lot. She's trying to hold out a lot, but you hear that some of the stuff is slipping, and they're not even grilling her. They're getting her casually comfortable, and hopefully the show is starting to do the same. You know, and I'm going to drop this on Facebook and YouTube. You know, and hopefully you find folks out there, you know, find this entertaining. You know, you can definitely follow me, you know, on the YouTube or on the Facebook, because I'm cross-platforming this episode to build up the public, you know, knowledge. It possibly maybe a little bit of a, you know, spotlight on me. But, you know, till we continue on this fucking 6-hour breakdown of a love affair of several kinds, you know, I'm going to have to check you on the next time. Because I like to remind everybody that for the morning, afternoon, or whenever you catch Uncle Bobby on YouTube, or, you know, Roberto Rizarri on Facebook. Because again, el gringo loco muy caliente, muy fuego, muy duro y muy fuerte. And even with the 59% West European, you know, I still bring that Latino heat. And till next time, people, remember me.